Welcome trainers and champions to another update on the Pokemon TCG Madness ladder. Yes, we're back, and yeah, I know we're a bit late on this time. That's just because my little girl had a little bit of flu shots. She turned 1, so she had a yearly flu shot to do. So she's been a bit under the weather, so I've not had much time to check out the ladder or check out any decks specifically or anything like that. I've got like minimal videos done and stuff like that, yada yada. But we're back anyway. We're here and we're showing off the Versus ladder, and we start off with Cobalion GX. Cobalion came up in Team Up. It's a fairly decent tech Pokemon. No one really uses it as a main attacker. It's garbage as a main attacker. Spoiler alert, but we'll see what he can do. First off, 170 HP is okay. I would have thought for at least a legendary, you have at least 180, if anything 190. That's what you normally see. Legendary Pokemon normally have a bit higher than normal HP. It's like 10 higher than the Dene, if you want to give that context, which is not great in comparison. That's kind of slim. Steel typing though, so you get things like Metal Saucer, you get Metal Goggles, you've got Coating Energy to take off weakness, you've got a few tricks up your sleeve for Metal type Pokemon. It's pretty good. Retreat cost of 1 is great because then U-Turn Ball gives you free retreat, or Air Balloon if you want to go over the top. Resistance to Psychic isn't too bad. Mewtwo and Mew still seeing a lot of play, so it'll be good to get resistance on them. And Weakness to Fire isn't that great because obviously, you know, Center Scorch VMAX is still kind of around. You've got obviously Vivid Voltage Charizard, you got a few fire type Pokemon that might want to do some damage, so be careful. But yes, like I said, it's more so a tech Pokemon because of its ability Metal Symbol. Each of your Pokemon that has any Steel type energy attached to it can't be affected by special conditions, and if any of them do have special conditions, you remove it, which is fantastic. So it doesn't say Steel type Pokemon, it says Pokemon with Steel type energy. So you can literally take this in with any type of Pokemon that you're using with Steel type energy, the main one being ADP. ADP is a Dragon type Pokemon, well, Dragon type card, yes, but it uses Steel type energy, which means if your opponent tries to do something like Confusion, or Paralysis, or Poisoning, you put on Cobalion on the bench and it's not there anymore, and it can't get affected either, which is fantastic. So Cobalion literally just works as just a little safeguard. There are a few decks that would probably like to mess with it. Toxicroak decks would probably mess with it a lot. Things like Galarian Slowbro would probably try and mess with it. Paralysis decks like, I don't know, Raichu Alolan Raichu maybe, stuff like that would probably try and do some damage to it. So Cobalion counters a few of those, it's not too bad. So for 2 Steel type energy, we have Dueling Saber, 50 damage, but if you have a Stadium in play, it does 110 instead. 110 isn't gonna get that much, it barely gets V type Pokemon that's weak to Steel types. I would say Fairy GXs, but no one's using Fairy GXs because Zacian. And at that point, again, you might as well just go for the extra energy and just use something like Zacian. There's no point using him as an attacker. There's really no point. And for 1 colorless energy, you have Iron Rule, and during your opponent's next turn, their Pokemon can't attack. They just can't attack, which is great. And this includes Pokemon that come into play on that turn. So basically, you get a free turn. You essentially get a free turn to not do anything. And again, they can't do anything like status conditions because Cobalion prevents it, which is fantastic. So yeah, you get a free run, but at the cost of a GX attack. But to be fair, if you're just chucking this in with, say, Turbo Zacian deck, not using ADP, that would be great. It would be great to get you a little turn. It's give and take. But so yeah, Cobalion's not that bad. It's not, yeah, I wouldn't say he's that bad. The main decks again that I would probably put him with if I had to choose would probably be ADP. Obviously Turbo Zacian would still be a thing as well. But there's not really much else. Obviously you can switch Pokemon out and things like that, but of course if your opponent has something like Dust Island, which keeps poisoning on at least, and you use a trainer card to get rid of it, it won't work. You have to retreat. So maybe, I guess, but you don't really see much use of Cobalion being in there simply because most times you can just switch out. So I mean, it's give and take. It's give and take, I guess. It's not that bad. It's alright. You could probably take it in 1 or 2, but I'd say if you got 1, you would probably just have just the 1 copy. I don't see you using any other reason other than having just the 1. So yeah, that kind of sees how it goes. As for the full art trainer of these next 3 weeks is Jasmine. Jasmine also came out in Team Up, and it says, search your deck for a Steel type Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand. If you go second and it's your first turn, you search for 5 Steel type Pokemon instead of 1, then you shuffle your deck. this is pretty good. You can get a lot of basic steel type Pokemon. You could pretty much get your entire bench up and ready. You could get, I don't know, like 3 or 4 Zacian in one go. You get Zacian Zamazenta. You could set up maybe, I don't know, Zacian Lucario Melmetal, Galarian Berserker. You could set up all of those Pokemon. It's fantastic. And since it's, and Jasmine obviously being the steel type gym leader, it's steel type Pokemon specifically. So yeah, I guess you could also counteract this. I'm kind of up and down about this. If you have a steel type only deck, then Jasmine is perfect for this deck. It's absolutely perfect, especially if you go second, it's your first turn. It's fantastic. But then if you kind of have a variant like ADP again, just for that sake, just because, you know, steel type Pokemon are seen with ADP anyway, it's not really gonna fit that well. Best you'd have is probably Pokekid, because if you get lucky and get Jasmine for your first turn going second, that's great. But most times you probably wouldn't chuck in like 3 or 4 Jasmine. You probably, again, just chuck in just about the 1. So it's a bit meh. It's a bit meh on my part. I'd probably say if you had to get anything, Quick Ball would be amazing because you still keep your supporter. Pokekid would probably be better because then you can get any Pokemon, not just steel type Pokemon specifically. You can get any Pokemon you want. And also, a big elephant in the room, if you do this on your second turn, or on your first turn going second, I should say, they could just do Marnie. If you get evolution Pokemon to set up for your next turn and they do Marnie, you've basically wasted the supporter. You could get 3 basic Pokemon, 2 evolutions, but then Marnie would just pretty much cut that dry. I mean, yeah, you get 3 basic Pokemon, but then if they need to evolve, you're just kind of a sitting duck. It's not that great. But, I mean, you could argue that it has some perks. But again, I wouldn't see anyone using more than 1, if anything, to Jasmine. Just to guarantee you get it easier. But I don't see anyone getting more than 2. Even 2's a bit of a stretch. So that's kind of my opinion on Jasmine anyway. But of course, the card looks great. If you want to get an awesome looking card, Jasmine, I would say looks great. Cobalion, again, is a pretty decent card. You can take it in 1 or 2 steel type decks as well. So that's entirely up to you. I'd say this ladder as a whole isn't the best. We've had so much better in comparison, like in these last couple of weeks. So I feel like this one's a bit underwhelming. So it's not that great. But of course, again, the main packs that we get in this ladder are Vivid Voltage. Being my Vivid Voltage right now is becoming quite scarce to buy packs of. So this would be great to get some online codes. If you guys don't collect but you get the codes, by all means, this is the perfect time to get them, considering, you know, we're really struggling on getting packs nowadays. But yeah, so that's kind of it for the versus ladder. Not the best, but not the worst, to be honest. You can still do 1 or 2 nice little things with this, I suppose. But of course, guys, that's it for my opinion on this versus ladder, and that's it for this update. What do you guys think of this ladder? Do you guys are you guys excited to get Cobalion or Jasmine? Are you guys not really fussed? Do you guys just want to do this ladder for Vivid Voltage? Let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed, always leave a like and always click on the video, guys. Always welcome back, and I'll see you all in the next video. Right, guys, take care, and I'll see you all later. Okay, bye!